with Andy Lindelof and Jamie Hodge, the trading studio. Let me know if the sound is all right. Thanks, Mike. All right, thanks, Randy. Thank you all. Questions for the afternoon webinars to know who's in the room. So let us know if you have an active Trade Ideas subscription or not by clicking on the appropriate reply there in front of you. And while you're voting, I'll remind everyone that the audience is muted. You need to use the questions panel to interact with the presenters. And if you do have a question you'd like to see demonstrated, wait until they ask for questions from the audience. That way you'll get your answer demonstrated to you. Otherwise, if you're fine with a typed out reply, just ask at any time, and we'll try to keep up with that. All right. Yeah, lots of non-subscribers in the room today, majority. 56% over 44 with subscribers. I got a quick question for the subscribers. If you're a subscriber, do you have premium or standard Trade Ideas? Differences are premium is the version that gives you access to the AIs and AI channels, the ability to back test and auto trade if you are an interactive brokerage client. Also, you get to open up to 20 charting windows at the same time, and access the premium RVI GBI windows. So it does provide nice value. So majority of the subscribers in the room already have premium by a little bit. Let me remind everyone that we do give out a discount code later on in the webinar, so stay tuned for that. It lets you either sign up as a new subscriber or get a discount as an upgrader. So do keep that in mind if you want to either become a subscriber or get those premium goodies. And we're going to record this and have the recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. So you will get access to that tomorrow with an email from GoToWebinar. And it'll have a link to the playlist where it'll be the newest webinar on the playlist. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hand you off to Andy and Jamie. Hey guys, how was today?
Hey Scott, thank you very much. Hi Jamie, how are you?
Hey, what's up over there, Andy? Happy Thursday to everybody. Yeah, what a little up and down day we had today.
Yeah, I was mentioning, if you look at it, drew a perfect W. If you're an intro video, my name is Andy, and that's my sidekick, Jamie. And wow, we got a great crowd in here. It's great to see a lot of new people, or I should say people who have not subscribed to the Trade Ideas yet. I think you know, hopefully you'll be able to see some cool stuff today. I'm going to show a couple of alerts and maybe a top list or two to just kind of whet your appetite and some of the stuff we can do here at Trade Ideas. But before we get started, let's go over the legal document here, which is our disclaimer. Okay, we are content publishers. We are doing this for educational purposes only. Jamie and I will be ups and looking at charts and things like that, but we just don't want anybody to construe our message today as investment advice. Okay, that's not our job. So you want to seek out, if you're looking for the investment advice, seek out somebody who's licensed. That would be a stock the answer is always yes. We have tons of support, tons of training, just like this webinar we're doing today. We encourage you to ask questions. It's interactive. We do have something on the agenda as far as presentation goes, but don't feel shy about dropping a question in there. Okay, we will get to it. We have what's called the Traders Room. Okay, I'm sure probably most of you have been there. This is moderated by Barry Einerson. He is a great trader, and he's also a very good moderator. He keeps the room tight, all the riffraff out. Excuse me, let me get me a drink of water here. It's allergy season. Back to trading room. Yeah, he does a great job, and not only that, he will help you. A lot of people think he just wants to trade, and yes, there are a lot of traders in that room, but Barry does not hesitate to help you if you have a question about the software, and that's a great forum because he can demonstrate it for you. And then we every Monday through Thursday at 5 Eastern time, same time slot, we have a webinar. More of our education and training here. We will demonstrate the software, show you some cool tools, and it's usually myself, Jamie, or Steve kind of juggling those responsibilities. But on Wednesday, you can come in and see our CEO, Dan Merkin, and our CTO, Brad Williams. It's a great place to come if you have questions or you want to see a demo of maybe some features coming down the pike. And then also it's a great place. They always demonstrate the AI for you, kind of break that down as well. And this is growing more and more every day. You see at the bottom there, our support webinar, okay? We used to only do one on Fridays. Now we do it every day. It's live streamed on our YouTube channel, and we will have a slide at the end of this presentation to show you, how to get there. And it's every day at noon. Just come in if you have questions. Don't feel like you have to go to our online chat because once again, it's a lot easier if we can present it as we're just, you come into our online chat, we're just going to be talking back and forth with text. But if you can ask a question and see it being done on the software, it makes it so much more easier. That's why we encourage you. If you're having trouble with an issue with our software, come here every day at noon Eastern time. So let's jump forward. I think we covered all that. All right, we do have a simulated trader now. Some people call it the paper trader, but this is a great little interface that you can trade on. It's no extra charge. You do have to have a subscription, but a standard subscription will work. And you have access to this paper trader. If you're new to trading, I can't think of a better way to paper trade, get in the trading room, watch some videos. We got plenty of content here to help you with the software and also help you with trading. You do not need a broker connection. You do not need to fund an account. And we have a really cool interface that we call Brokerage Plus. And you are going to really like that. And honestly, I think just the price of subscription is worth this paper trader alone, if you ask me, because it's really, really sufficient. Okay, here's the agenda for today, guys. We're going to talk about the market recap. And it was funny, I was looking at the market where it closed today, and it's almost exactly where we were last week in my webinar. So a lot of sideways action in the last 4 trading days. Friday, we were closed last week for Good Friday, but anyway, been kind of going sideways. Kind of makes it difficult for if you're a swing trader and with the market not moving. So we'll talk about some possible scenarios that may happen in the market recap. Then Jamie's going to take over and handle the Holly recap. Big winner in there, RCUS. And he will kind of break that down for us. Not a whole lot of trades today at all, but that's okay. We had one really good one there, an RCUS, a big percentage winner. And then these are a couple. When a lot of times I do this when I think it's pertinent to talk about these alerts or top lists that I've built. One of them is called revenue growth fishing. That is what we call a top list or a scan. And this one, time to nibble. I mentioned this probably about a month ago, and we're gonna hit on this. I've been seeing some really good ones come through it as well. And not only that, this will demonstrate for you people who are new in here how some of our top lists work and also our alerts and all the things you can do with it. And I do see some questions coming in. Jamie, I have been watching the trading room for a while, and there seems to be okay. Okay, we'll, yeah, you might want to send that to info@trade-ideas.com, and I'll shoot that over to Barry. That's probably who you need to talk about with that, Jamie. All right, well, let's back out and let's talk a little bit about the market, where we are and where we might be going. And as you can see, I don't know what's going on out there. Maybe Mike C can fill me in, but I noticed right before I went on the air today, actually a big move in the SPYs here in after hours. So I'm not sure what that is, but Let's all I can really go on is what we see right now in the SPYs. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me get my Epic pen going here. But this is what I was talking about. This is right where we were. Right here, last Thursday. This is where we closed. And look today, guys. It is almost an identical close, another doji. So basically, we have been going sideways, a little up action this day, I mean down, right? Followed by up on this day right here. It's hard to draw with this thing. And other than that, we've been going kind of sideways. Kind of setting up, we were talking about today, some of the guys in the room, possibly setting up for a move higher. That could be what you're seeing in after hours here. But it's usually a bullish signal when you come from lower left, okay, to upper right, like we're seeing right here in the market, and then you kind of go sideways, okay? So there's a couple of ways that you can consolidate. You can consolidate over time, like we're seeing right now, or you can consolidate by pulling back to a moving average and then digging higher. Okay, this is definitely a time, just kind of a consolidation, moving sideways here. We're not pulling back yet. That is usually a sign of strength for the bulls. Okay, because you've come from lower left to upper right, going sideways, and what typically will happen is these moving averages will sneak up under this price action and then push the market higher. I'm not making a prediction here what's going to happen, but more times than not, when you do get a move like this, you come up from the bottom and you go sideways. That is kind of showing strength there for the bulls for sure. But we'll see what happened. I think we still have to get through this 50-period moving average right here. We could, if the futures market continues like they're going here in after hours for whatever reason they're doing it, we could be meeting this tomorrow. We will have to see what happens. And once again, if you look, guys, this marries up real well. You can see my a price alert that I set a while back with this area right here. And I think if I go back into time here, let me see. Hold on. See, yeah, look at there, guys. That is huge. So this is going to be a huge area right here. I talked about this last week, okay? And like I said, they usually don't stop right at the numbers. You usually go through for a little bit, but you can see this is kind of married up. This congestion is going to be married up right with this 50 period, right as it keeps sloping down. So a big area coming up. Let's see if we can get through it. It should be a big war there. We'll see what happens. I'm going to pull up the Qs, but only briefly, guys, because once again, this is really a disproportionate index because of the huge weighting for Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Google. You have about 5 or 6 stocks that comprise about 50% of the weighting. So this is why it looks like you have so much strength in the Qs. I mean, all you got to do is look at Amazon and Netflix, and you can just imagine how much it's pulling it up. So let me see here. Let's see what Randy says, 2% after hours. Okay, something about Gilead drugs showing effectiveness treating on coronavirus. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Randy. All right, diamonds real quick. Pretty much the same as the SPYs there. I like to focus on the SPYs. It's more of it's 500 stocks and it's more equally weighted. So, I think this is a key level tomorrow to watch, see what happens. But Jamie, anything else you want to add to the overall market? And there's the SPYs. Look at there, guys.
I was just saying, I was sitting here trying to figure out.
Just went off. Go ahead.
Maybe we got a little bit of lag there. I was just trying to figure out what was causing the spike, and then of course Randy threw that information out there. Probably I would have rather had a different reason for that if I could have picked.
But I'm bullish, yeah.
We'll take what we can get, we'll see if that sticks, in other words.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, any good news to combat coronavirus is excellent news for sure, especially if we can save lives. But and it was funny, right as I brought you on, Jamie, my spy alert went up. So we're right at this level. So it looks like we may gap there tomorrow. But
Right, and just to
yeah,
clarify,
interesting.
of course, that's good news, of course. It's just that with these
Sure,
drugs,
yeah,
you never know. Okay, well, is it valid information? Is it just initial, a small test group? So yeah, keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, it's something substantial instead of just a flash in the pan. Hopefully, it
right.
sticks, and yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fantastic
that'd be
news.
great.
Yes.
Sure it would. Yeah, I knew what you meant though, Jamie. If you're talking about a market reaction, yeah, I some damage has been done. I mean, I don't think you can shut down the shut down the whole economy for as long as we have and expect us to go back at all-time highs in the next 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Uh, and if we do, I think the dollar would just be destroyed. But nonetheless, we will hope for the best, especially for those that can be treated for coronavirus. So thanks again, Randy. All right, so Jamie, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you talk about probably only one trade. But,
Yeah, Art. We'll talk about Arcus. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, sure, go right ahead.
All right, I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing it right now. So just let me know when you can see.
I got it.
Okay. All right, RCUS. Let me just get rid of the post market here. Okay. Looks a little crazy on the 15-minute time frame here. So what we're going to do is just flip on over to 5 minutes. Makes things a little bit more discernible here. Okay. So before we jump into this trade, you can see right here, we only had 4 signals today from Holly, 3 coming from Neo and 1 coming from Holly 2.0. And of course, we had a dual or duplicate signals in RCUS today. The original one right here, about 11 minutes, 39 seconds into the open. And the reason I wanted to put this on 5-minute candles is because if we looked at 15, it looks like all this action, well, it did happen in 1 candle. But this is the interesting part. The signal was in this candle right here, the third 5-minute candle. Look at this nice little swoon down it took before it bounced back up here. And this is when the AI triggered it, after the swoon down, as we come back up to that entry level here. So a great percentage winner in the RCUS from that initial entry signal from Holly. Now, I do feel compelled to point out, this was one that might have given a lot of people pause at first because of several factors. Number one, look at the stop loss that was recommended on this thing. Okay, we got an entry price of 24.30 right here. Stop loss that's recommending of 17.14. All right, so we had let's call it a 7-point stop loss in this thing, which depending on your risk tolerance, maybe that's a big deal, maybe it's not a big deal. It just depends on what you're used to trading. In addition to that, this thing was kind of spready all day as well. So we did finish with a very nice, moderate, conservative, aggressive profit factor here. But, sizing would have been key if you really wanted to stay in this trade and give it the full stop loss. Now, what you're seeing over here with Neo is the assumption that we're trading 100 share lots of each and every trade that comes through here. That's the way that these panels report AI P&L on a daily basis. So once again, getting back to your risk tolerance, maybe you did take 100 shares. However, you'll see on my blotter here, how many shares was I in? 14 shares, okay? Why is there a difference between, why would I only take 14 shares? Because of my risk threshold, which if we go to tools and options, the way I'm telling the AI to trade or to size my trades is basically using a risk-based stop loss, which we can see right here on a per trade basis. I only want to risk $100. If I'm wrong, I want to get clipped out for 100, maybe 110 with a little bit of slippage in there. Bottom line, I don't want to lose more than $100 per trade. And so risking $100 with a 7-point stop loss results in a share size of 14 shares here. Okay, so very nice percentage gain, but this wasn't what I would call your average Holly play. A little bit more risk in this one, as we can clearly see from the stop loss, a little bit spreadier than normal, but hey, a move is a move is a move. So once again, you know, the beautiful part about this is on some of these stocks that would give us pause because of the spreads and the stop loss that's being exhibited, we just don't care about that. Like, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I'm only going to lose $100. And in this case, we would have only been in 14 shares, risking $100 per trade. So a lot of the times I'll point out spread that materializes between conservative risk and moderate risk. And you can see here between conservative and moderate, we do have a tiny bit of spread, but emphasis on the word tiny. $9 approximately between 67 and 78 bucks, call it that, between 67 and 74, or 7-ish, somewhere in there. But the bottom line is this: a lot of the times Holly's exit on conservative mode won't be the best, and we can decide to stay in the trade. But in this case, she pegged it pretty well. Conservative risk, you know, holding this one all day, because that's what the strategy was designed to do. If we take a peek at breakout long down here, we can see that the hold time, it's not an all-day hold, but set up to hold until 2:50 Central Standard Time, which is just 10 minutes before the close. So did a really good job at holding that one all day. Left a little bit of money on the table in the last 10-minute period, but nothing to write home about. Now, when we look at these other ones, we don't see any small numbers over here and big numbers over here. Pretty much it was RCUS most of the day. BPOP, let's take a look at that one. Just didn't really cooperate. Got in the money a little bit here, down to 31.74 from the entry of 31.96, but soon thereafter, right above, you know, gains traction above that entry line, and pretty much, you know, ebbs and flows. Reduce risk. Holly did call a pretty good exit on this one in conservative mode. Ends up losing $37.62 with this exit right here in the shaded area. And if she would have held on to it, eventually that stop would have been triggered up here later in the day, right about 2 hours before the close. So, you know, a good example of a decent closing of a position and saving a little bit of money on the conservative loser of BPOP, and then playing this one quite well. The other two, Semi and the second entry on RCUS, kind of uneventful. RCUS had already made the big jump here, and it was just called by another strategy. Well, actually, breakout long called both of these today. Or excuse me, breakout long was one, and then it called the pullback. My eyes are playing tricks on me, forgive me for that. So we had the original one here, and then the pullback, but the pullback didn't really produce much of all. It was all in this first breakout play. And Andy, that's really about it. You know, one big winner, one small loser, and a couple of, you know, another small loser and another small winner. But all in all, on a 4-trade count, not bad performance from Holly today.
No, not at all, Jamie. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I see John, and of course, since we, you know, I'm not used to all these new people in here, Andy. It's pretty cool event here.
Yeah.
So, you know, with the regular people, they understand what all the risk modes mean. But as John was just asking here, moderate profit, what does black mean? I'm not sure I'm getting that. So are we talking about in this field right here?
I think, Jamie, I think he's talking about under profit, conservative profit. Sometimes they won't show red or green, they'll just be black. And I think that's just an insignificant amount. It probably has to be over a certain amount to where it's going to reflect the color.
Oh, right. In between here. Yeah, I'm not
Right.
really sure why the coloring is off on that, but clearly this is a positive number. This is a positive number. Maybe it's got to be plus or minus
Over
$10
$10. Yeah,
before
probably.
the change occurs. Yeah.
To scan, but I will pull one up here. And here's the best way to try to find out what you have when you get the software. Just come in here to search and type in double, and now you have a double bottom and a double top. Okay, and you can put in the hours of trading, and it will find you, help look for you double bottoms and double tops. Now, I don't think we're going to have a triple, but let me just try. And no, we don't. So we will have a double top for you there. Is it Ivy? I'm not going to butcher. I'm trying. Well, I guess I did try. But anyway, we do have that for you. All right, guys. Yeah, look at the spiders. They're even trying to get through that level. So for what maybe it's a culmination of a couple of things. Somebody mentioned Boeing opening back up, and nice little pop there in Boeing as well. So just it may be a couple of good pieces of good news. So we'll have to see what happens. But nonetheless, the bulls have to be liking the after hours market. We'll see what happens tomorrow, because that is a critical level. And we also have a gap fill right here. So like I say, they seem like they never stop perfectly. Most cases they overshoot one way or another, just like I was talking about. So there's an old saying that the market will fool most of the people most of the time. And what that means is nothing seems like it's precise. So that's why you have a lot of times these overshooting with tails going in both directions. So, and I mentioned to the guys, I think last week in our chat, no, it was on Twitter, you know, a lot of people are getting short and they're feeling like we're going to go down, and it's just not going to be that easy. And I said, no, what'll happen is we'll get good news on coronavirus, and then they'll hear echoes of don't fight the Fed until they finally, everybody gets squeezed out of the shorts, and then we'll reverse. But anyway. All right, I want to talk about a couple of things. Let's talk about revenue growth fishing. Now, this probably was, I shared it in this webinar probably about 3 months ago. And I think it's time to bring it to your attention again, okay? So what is this looking for? It's the term fishing, so that kind of hints toward maybe doing a little bottom fishing. But what you're going to find out is all these companies in here have really good revenue growth, okay? And there is a lot of people out there that look for revenue growth. As a matter of fact, there's funds that only look for strong revenue growth. And there's also ETFs, I mean, there's a lot of instruments, I should say, that look for revenue growth. So let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at the configuration first. All right, this is a top list. Okay, what that means manipulate after a certain amount of time, but like it's kind of new still. So with that being said, let me just explain it to you. Basically, if the max is set at 30, that means that the price cannot be more than 30% off the low end of this range. Okay, so basically it's in the bottom 25% or 30% of the 3-month range. Okay, so the stocks have been beaten up a little bit, but quarterly revenue growth has to be a minimum of 20. So it has to have a 20% revenue growth or higher. Position in 10-day range, I got at a minimum of 7. Just the opposite of this 70. I'm sorry. Just the opposite of this one. It has to be no lower than 70% off the low end of that range, basically in the top 30% of its 10-day range. And average daily volume has to be 500,000 shares or more. All right, so last time I showed this, we found some really good winners in it, and I wanted to do it again because I'm seeing some pretty good setups in here. I was taking a look at it today, and don't worry, I'll share this with you. So anybody that subscribed to Trade Ideas will have a copy of this. But I'm just going to take a look at some of these. Let's just kind of go through them, and you can see right here, if you want to sort by revenue growth, you could just put it like that. This PGNY is, look at there, kind of going sideways. All right, not happening, but boy, if I'm looking at this and I see that revenue growth, and you can also see, let me draw this real quick. Let me just do it with my little marker here. Look what you have here. Whoa, that's a big one. Where's the dot? Let's see if I got that smaller. There we go. You got a nice little wedge pattern kind of developing there. It's kind of a sloppy wedge. So what I would do in a situation like this is just go ahead and draw, make a price alert, and I'd stick it right there to be alerted if it takes out that 5-day high, and maybe worth watching. And there's my price alert I just set. All right, Ameren. This is one that looks like they had a bit of bad news right here. This may take some time to work out. I'm not sure what the bad news was. It may not be reflected in this revenue growth that they lost got a bad ruling on a drug or something like this. So this one right here, I would stay away with it. That big drop right there scares me. And look at this GCal. Now, I'm going to say right now, you got to watch out with these commercial bankings, all right? Because the sector has been getting hit. All you got to do is look at Citigroup, okay, BAC. They've been getting beat up pretty good. But look at them now. Good Lord, and what a move! Shorts are getting squeezed in after hours, Jamie. So you know what? With that said,
shorts have been getting punished. Today they got teased because they had a little bit of downside action, but then right back up again. So just like we were talking about, a lot of gnashing of teeth and pulling of hair from the shorts, and it looks like it's going to continue.
Yeah, exactly. And this also looks like it's an ADR. It looks like it's maybe a Latin American company or something like this. I'm going to leave this alone. But guys, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to share these price alerts with you. This is one I was watching. I'm hoping it doesn't get too far away from me. This is a China play. A lot of these China stocks, I think, have been kind of held back because of what happened to Luke and Coffin, LK, with their bad, basically cooking the books, what they were doing. All right, but this one right here, it's gotten pretty good revenue growth of 40. Not seeing the current cash and current debt. I don't like that. But anyway, I'd still kind of put a mark in there and just mark it up. If it breaks out of that range right there, I kind of want to know about it anyway. Maybe it'll just be a day trade. IBN, that looks like another ADR. It's a commercial banking. Yeah, I'm gonna pass over most of these commercial banking. This is a Energizer Bunny. It's one to look at. Pretty good revenue growth there. See if I can find some good, decent ones. This one looks pretty good. MDLA, okay. I like this right here too. Look at this, 343 million in cash, not that much debt, some nice revenue growth. Doesn't look like they're quite making money yet, but I would still mark something up like this right here and evaluate when it triggers. Not seeing. Here's this is one of those ethanol companies, I believe. Yeah. They're ethanol distributors. Still a nice base here, you know, but I don't know. That's kind of in the area of too close to energy, so I probably leave that alone too. But anyway, guys, I'm going to share this with you guys again. It's called Revenue Growth Fishing, and I'll drop it in there. I think a lot of stocks have been beaten up lately. These ones that have some decent revenue can really get a move when you're right. There was one in there that's no longer in here, and I will show it to you, and it's Casper. And I'm going to show you what it did. Now, I wonder why it's not in there. It was in there earlier. Let me do this. Let me put it on it may have gotten too far out of its range. Let me put it on an earlier time today. And let me do change from close. Good Lord, where did it go? Oh well, is it C? Does anybody know the symbol for the mattress, the Casper mattress? It was in there earlier, and like I said, it was moving today, and it probably got too far away. Oh well, you're just gonna have to trust me on
Andy,
that one.
it's
All right, let me share this with you.
CSPR.
CSPR. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, this one was in there. You can see the revenue growth right now. I think it may have got, yeah, what happened, it got too big of a move today and fell out of this. You know, it has to be in the lower 30% of its 3-month range. So this was in there earlier today. Look at that move it had today. And this would have been in there going back over here as well. So you could have caught a nice little move in CSPR. And thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Nigel, for bringing that up. All right, let me share it because you can catch some good ones in there. Revenue growth fishing would be there. And I'm going to drop it into the chat panel. And for those of you guys in here who are new, what we're able to do is share cloud links, and they will have access to this code and can immediately pull it up on their software. All right. Another one that a while back, not as far back as the revenue growth fishing, this was probably only, I think I may have done this in late January, but it's called Time to Nibble. Okay, and you don't see anything coming in here today. That's okay. This is not meant to just spit a bunch of alerts out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the time out here, and I'm going to go right click, go to history, and just put it on all, so we can see maybe over the last couple of weeks or something what alerts came through there. And while it's doing that, I am going to show you the configuration and why I created that. All these alerts are going to be going off now. All right. So this are looking for stocks that are hitting a new low. All right. And we go in here. And here's the configuration window. It's a new low. The stock has to be down at least 5%. Okay. I got to just a hack to filter out all the ETFs. This earnings date, okay, is what I'm doing in this right here is eliminating any stock that had earnings last night or this morning. I don't want to be jumping in front of a stock that is getting killed off earnings. Yeah, I don't have that one, Sheetal. I don't have the high of day Momo scanner. You're probably going to have to get that from Warrior Trading. Change in 5 days. It needs to be down at least 15% in 5 days. And you're asking, why on earth would you want to buy stocks that are getting down 5% today and down 15% in the last 5 days. Well, here's the kicker. It has to be above its 200-day moving average. So I'm looking for weakness, but catching it potentially right above its 200-day moving average. And that's just an average daily volume filter, once again, of 500,000 shares. All right, so if I go in here, we're going to take a look at some of these. Let's go back to, I don't want to go back too far. Let's go back to 4.2. Let's take a look here. We'll look at, lo and behold, Jamie, look at Tesla coming through here. And look on this day right here. You could have picked Tesla up right there. Okay, it's meeting my requirements. It's down 5% on the day. Okay, you can see it's actually down in 5 days. It was just over down 15%. I don't have a change from close. I do. See, so it was down almost 6%. And look at that buy right there in Tesla. See, this is not a day trade. This is something you're looking to probably swing trade. See, this is total out of the box kind of trading, all right, where you're basically on the other side of people that are coughing up their shares. MRSN, look right here on this day right here. Man, look at that, Jamie. What a nice one that would have been. Indeed. CVM, right here. Now, guys, you also at the same time, okay, if the market is getting killed like it was, you know, back when the Corona crisis, all right, I'm not saying jump in front of the train on the market, but if the market's somewhat holding up like it's been doing over the last couple of weeks, not getting destroyed again, and you're seeing weakness like this, hey, you might want to take a chance, nibble with some small size. I just showed you some great example of some stocks you could have caught pretty much on lows. Now, Rite Aid was a great one right here. You could have caught it. Had a nice bounce to it. Obviously had some bad news overnight, gap down, but still look at the profits you would have had from basically $11 all the way above $15. ENPH. Look at there on this day right here, 28.30, almost the low of that day. So sometimes out of the box thinking, guys, can really benefit you. Now, and this is why I'm saying this one right here, you probably would have had some pain. It probably came through on this day as well. Uh-oh, look what we have here, guys. Zoom Media, look at this day right here. You could have caught it. So I am going to start paying attention to this for sure, especially in this volatility. We will see some more weakness. It looks like Zoom's actually getting hit in after hours. Probably because this is a coronavirus play. So it may, because we're getting some good news on coronavirus, you're seeing people take advantage and sell the, yeah, Mike C says he's loving it. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you can do with trade ideas where you get real-time alerts with all your parameters, you know, built in. No other software can do this. It's just amazing the things you can do with it. I mean, just about everything I pulled up so far you've been basically buying it at the bottom, except this one. This came back, but boy, that was an ugly gap down there. E-health insurance. I'm not sure what was going
Andy,
on there.
the Corona darling stocks typically, like work, for example, it's going down in post-market right now as well.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be rushing out and buying a bunch of Corona stocks. All right, so as you guys can see, this is there's one just recently off of this day right there. I know, pharmaceuticals. All right, so I am going to share this with you guys, and I would advise probably keeping an eye on this one. It's not going to spit out a lot, that's for sure, but that's fine with me. Time to nibble. Okay, that is in the chat window. And let me make sure we got any questions out there, Jamie, that we missed.
I think I've been knocking them out pretty good here.
exactly, Frank. That's what we were just talking about. They're going down because of oh, he's maybe talking about these drug pharmaceuticals that we're looking for. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, looks like we're all caught up. A great crowd today, guys. I'm glad you joined us. I hope that you learned something and what you can build, the alerts and top lists that you can build with this software, and it can definitely help you profit in the marketplace. So with that said, you guys hang on. I'm going to bring Scott back in if he's still connected with us, and he'll walk us out of here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Andy. A couple items on the way out as we close out. We do have a daily support webinar that's been getting awesome reviews. Everyone loves it. You can just check it out in the morning at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific at trade-ideas.com/live. That'll take you right to the live stream on our YouTube channel. And we also simulcast Barry's trading room in there before and after the daily support session. So if you just don't feel like logging into the trading room, you can just go straight to the YouTube page. It's a good way to watch it if you have it on a tablet or a phone instead of on the PC. But of course, the community in Barry's room is outstanding, so don't miss that. We've got a new ebook that we released a couple months ago, but it's our newest one. It's free, and it covers earnings season. It's written by Dave Mabe, our Chief Information Officer, and he's got some really insightful things about what to do during earnings season, how to work it to your advantage. He's the guy that made Holly and our odds maker and a lot of our other pieces of technology. So he's really sharp and knows his stuff. We've got a podcast. Probably start that back up again soon. There's some of the last ones that we released were really good interviews that Sean McLaughlin conducted. So do check those out. It's really easy to find. Just search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you subscribe to your podcast, and add us as a subscription, and check out the descriptions of some of the past episodes, and we'll be getting that going again soon. There's a code. Spring Holly is good for 15% off any subscription or upgrade. So give that a try if you want to start using Trade Ideas today or do an upgrade. It's going to be good to the end of the month. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Andy and Jamie. If you have any questions, you can follow Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot, or Steve Gomez is at Today Trader. Facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro is the Facebook handle to follow and like things that we post. But the best way to get answers to your questions is to shoot an email over to info@trade-ideas.com. That goes right into our help desk software and gets you the answer you need in the quickest amount of time possible. Thanks, everyone. We'll have the recording up tomorrow. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks everybody. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.